Hello guys, welcome to the stream. Merry Christmas. I'm just going to land this plane. There's less than 10 minutes left. Merry Yule from Finland. Excellent, says Site Flimmer. Merry Yule. Merry Christmas from Australia. Will. Cheers, Will. Merry Christmas. Vince Cowell. Merry Christmas, Frog in chat. Cheers, Vince. Merry Christmas. Dalton, love your videos. Cheers, Dalton. Appreciate it. G'day, Fred. Back at your parents' place for Christmas. Okay, cool. Internet connection 14 megabytes per second. Cry. Yeah, I think that's even lower than mine. $4G. Nice, no. Michael, welcome. So basically this is the end of this stream. Regrettably it hasn't been too action-packed. I'm just gonna find somewhere to land. I don't know if it's the end of the stream actually, it's the end of this flight. Not gonna lie. I've had a glass of Chardonnay. So I've been flying this 262 slightly under the influence. Now to find an airfield. I took off from Klimovo, big road here, river. Cutting it fine with 4 minutes left. Any airfield will do, I think. So from about here I've been heading west, so maybe this one. Rivers, plenty of rivers. I did see one aircraft, but it was landing, and you're not allowed to shoot aircraft once they're on the ground, and by the time I got to his airfield, he would have already landed. So what do we got? We got like a Y-shaped junk. Can I land in 4 minutes? That's got to be it there. Let's hope it is, and it'll be on the right-hand side near a town that straddles the river. So there's the junction, there's that, there's the town, and it's just going to be over here. Particularly vulnerable to attack when landing, but I don't think that's going to be a problem today because there's about 2 enemies in the sky. AR-234, that's going to be sick. Can't wait for that. And the Mosquito. There we go. It's not much of an airfield for a 260. 3 minutes left to put it down. Let's see. I'll choose the longest distance. Try and turn it right and pull it up in front of the hangar. Bleed off that speed with some maneuvers. Always coming in way too far. Perfecto. There we go. You want to cross the threshold at 200 kilometers an hour. Any higher than that, it gets dicey, trying to avoid going off the end of the runway. Perfect landing with 1 minute to go. There we go, a very macho Chardonnay inebriated land. Excellent landing. That was a pretty good landing, actually. I don't know, I reckon the 262 probably has the same engine as the AR234. It looks like it. The next map is called The Legend of Y29. The main thing I'm thinking is, does it have the 262? If it does, I'm going to be all over that. If it doesn't, I don't know, I'll probably try a K4, and if there's no K4, I'll go a P47, I think. So there were no targets in the air, so I shot up 2 AAA guns. I destroyed everything I hit, so that's good, and I didn't get destroyed by the AAA. Dogfight in the Yarbo was the best. I can't remember which one that was. I had a few terrible dogfights in the Yarbo and a few really ultra good ones. Didn't spill a drink. So Legend of Y29, January 1945, with alternate spotting on. That's a good thing to note, alternate spotting. Does this one have the 262? I cannot remember. Some of them do, some of them don't. Honestly, that one I was just flying in, I didn't think it had the 262, but it does. So you've got to choose a map that has the 262, and then you've got to choose an opportunity when the 262 is available, because it's not always available. Just waiting for the map to populate. I don't think I'll have much competition to get a jet if one exists on this map. Venlo. Man. You see a 262? No. I don't see any 262, but there is a K4. There is a K4. I don't think I've really flown the K4 in multiplayer. This could be the opportunity. So you can take off from here in a K4. And here. And I'm the only player, so maybe K4, I don't know. What the heck, let's just do it. I quite like the Christmas decorations and the Christmas tree in here. It's pretty good. So you don't have the DB605 DC as an option in Combat Box. I might as well carry something to drop since there's no air opponents just yet. I'll carry a 500. So you get 65 Mark 1 MK108s. Not many, but it's a powerful gun. And 600 131. What skins have we got? Let's try this one. Radical looking aircraft. Look at how long the tail wheel is. Like the strut there. Notice compared to the beginning Bf109s, they've gotten rid of this support struts here. Much cleaner design. Even though it has a massive engine, it's all pretty streamlined. These bulges that you have in the G6 are kind of streamlined in the engine nacelle. Still a fairly angular cockpit, but the canopy, again, somewhat streamlined. Oh, and it's snowing. It would be good if Combat Box would give me the temperature before I took off. They give you the month, but for me that's not much to go on. I think everything more or less in this plane is automated. Mixture, everything. Propeller, so on. Got rid of the struts on the F model, yeah. Probably going to be taking off with the tailwind. That's quite a nice sounding engine. Guys, bear with me. I'm going to be back in 30 seconds with a volume adjustment. Bear with me. Alright, I'm back, and the volume is back to what one would expect normally on the channel. Just had to adjust the volume there. Good plane for 1936. World speed record. That's right. I think the availability, or the expected availability of oil, was one of the things that tremendously shaped policy, strategic and tactical policy, in terms of the development of all sorts of war materiel, particularly aircraft. The Axis didn't really go for the four-engined aircraft, not usually, unless it was a specialised aircraft. On that basis, I believe expected availability of oil was probably the key thing in mind when they decided to go for twin-engine bombers instead of four-engine bombers. The only company that kind of got around that was Dornier with the Heinkel with the HE177, where they had a power system. It was still technically a twin-engined aircraft, but it actually had four engines by welding two engine blocks together to make, quote, a power system, unquote. And unfortunately the gearbox in there always had problems, and it was known, I think, as was it known as the flying pencil? It just kept on catching fire, basically, because of the power systems. So that was an example of aircraft designers trying to innovate around a policy. The policy was you got to have a twin engine aircraft. They tried to build a four engine aircraft and also comply with the twin engine policy, and it didn't work so well. So guys, I'm literally the only person on the map right now. It's much too early, really, for any kind of combat. So what I might do is just sort of find something to attack. I'm carrying a 500 kilogram bomb, so let's try that out on something. I should go west. Maybe we'll run the stream for another 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll land, and then that'll be it for this particular stream, and then I'll be back later on when the servers populate a bit. That's it. Yeah, it was the Air Force was a tactical support for the ground forces. Did they try and make the HE177 a dive bomber? If that's the case, that's beyond crazy. It's such a huge aircraft. What flight stick am I using? It's Logitech Extreme Pro 3D. There's a link in the description of most of my videos to where you can have a look at the gear that I use, including the joystick. We got a town there. What could that be? Still roughly heading west. Is it Maastricht? Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Because every time that you make a plane into a dive bomber, it has to the airframe has to be made so much stronger to cope with the increased speed in the dive, and also, of course, to cope with the G-force upon pulling out. Which means more weight, which means reduced performance, etc. The town that I'm overflying must be Maastricht, with this river that kind of circumnavigates the town on the main river. I think that's that one there. Right, there's Y29. Let's attack Y29. So it's just about 3:30 from Maastricht. I'll just fly north and it should be on my left. I reckon this here is all of the selector switches for the fighter bomber mode. Right, I have one enemy somewhere out there. Right, there's Y29, otherwise known as Ash. What can I hit without getting hit by the AAA? That's the question. I'd want to dive in. I just press Shift B to test if this plane has any extra boost, and it doesn't, but I think you just activate the boost by advancing the throttle beyond a certain amount. Speed is still pretty low. Let's get that speed up. Oh man, plenty of AAA. Oh no, it's bunkers full of aircraft. Not liking my chances. Let's just see what we can do here. Where did those aircraft come from? Are they AI? They must be AI. What are they? I'm tempted to say one's a P-47, but I think they're probably both Mustangs. Pretty big though. What to do, what to do. And they're both AI, I think. At least one of them must be. First things first, don't drive it into the ground. Could go head to head. Still one on my tail, two on my tail. I'm turning. Should I try and turn fight them? They're all AI aircraft. I'm out of here, I think. Came in as a bomber. It's not really favourable to be duking it out with so many enemies on the deck like that. But still, look at that. Tempting. I should go back with some altitude. What am I looking at? A lot of flak was that for me. I didn't even use my 30s, I just used the 151. And I've overcooked the engine. So I was running at like 100%, 95% for most of that. Not surprising I cooked the engine. So that's a limitation of the K4, I guess, is using the engine excessively high powered for too long. So even with basically no PvP action, there's still AI aircraft on this map. I didn't realise that. Well, nonetheless, guys, that is the end of this particular stream. Thanks you guys for joining me on this one. I'm glad I got to fly the 262 again, even though there was not really any action at this time. I'll be back for sure later on today at some point. In the meantime, be merry and eat and drink, not in moderation. And I'm going to be back soon. Hope you can join me for that time then. And hopefully get some combat action as well in the 262. That's what I'm aiming for. I want to fly the 262 against other players. So that's what I'm aiming for. Alright guys, catch you next time. Bye bye.